Next, we have the Abelam. Now, agriculturalists, these are agriculturalists living in the hilly region north of the Sepik River. And they were isolated until the 1930s. Now, when I say they're an agriculturalist, in other words, this group is existing in more or less one place, raising a crop as opposed to a hunter-gatherer, although they're not entirely fully settled. And their primary crop is going to be yams. Those who grow the largest yams will actually gain prestige in this group. And they will actually develop a yam cult. And you might be sitting there wondering, well, why would you develop a cult around a crop? Well, if your entire life depends on that crop, not just for prestige, but for your very survival. And a great many people around the world, before westernization, before major factory farming, were reliant on one or two crops for their survival. So it's not that big of a leap to imagine developing a cult surrounding this individual, this single harvest. Only men who are abstinent are allowed to work in the fields. That's how important the yam is to them. So it's almost a priesthood of farmers who are allowed to raise these yams. A woman, a man who isn't abstinent, etc., children are not allowed to work the fields. And that gives it a special prestige as opposed to other societies where we tend to see the women and the children working in the fields and the men going out hunting and gathering. Special long yams are on display, and the largest have the names of important ancestors. This is basically genetic encouragement. So by creating a cult that actually looks at these massive yams as particularly special means that they will start hybridizing and making sure that they always have these massive yams to use for the next crop. You're creating genetically modified yams. You're doing it the old-fashioned way by always taking the best from the crop, but that's what they're doing. This is a form of what we would today call genetic encouragement. To them, this is an important element of their culture. And here we see that display of yams. But in our case, we're actually looking at a yam mask. Now, yam masks are generally made of cane with red, white, yellow, and black. And they are integral parts of the various ceremonies surrounding this yam cult. Most incorporate sculpted faces, cassowary feathers, and shell ornaments. The same designs will be used for body adornment for the dances that surround this cult for the various rituals. So why this incredibly close attachment? Well, just imagine this. Imagine if the entire wheat crop worldwide ceased to exist. People would starve to death. A great deal of our economy, a great deal of our diet is based around wheat. Just talk to anyone who's gluten intolerant or has celiacs. And if that were to disappear, it would have a major impact on us. Now, consider the Abelam, where their entire society collapses if the yam crop collapses. It becomes an existential requirement to make sure that these yams continue, that you're doing everything you can to ensure their survival. Consequently, you're going to create rituals around it.